Good day and welcome to today's discussion of understanding the self, wherein we will be talking about managing and caring for the self. Okay. So the learning outcomes for today's discussion would be the following. First would be to explore aspects of managing and caring for oneself. Next would be examine oneself against the different aspects of the self that are discussed in the class. And lastly, demonstrate critical, reflective thought in integrating the various aspects of managing for and caring for the self. So, knowing the self is not enough since you are is partly made up of your choices. You must also have the ability to choose, especially to be a better you. We've been discussing various areas of the self: the spiritual self, the physical self, the psychological self, and the sexual self. And these are all parts of who we are. These are all areas of the self that we need to integrate. Now, knowing these areas are not sufficient. No. Taking care of these areas is also necessary. We are what we choose to be. We are partly made up of the choices that we make. No? So we must be able to choose to be a better person, especially when we have the capacity to do so. We must be able to make better decisions in order for us to be able to take care of ourselves and the different areas of the selves. Now, in order to do so, no, we must have self-management and self-care. When we talk about self-management, that is the support that you give to help the people with difficult conditions that enables them to manage their health on an everyday basis. So self-management, from the word management, you being able to manage the difficult tasks that are presented to you, manage your health, whether you have health problems, or manage your health in order to avoid or prevent yourself from having health problems or difficult conditions. No? Self-care, on the other hand, is a lifetime habit and culture. Self-care is part of your decision to take care of yourself and to prioritize yourself, putting yourself as your number one in order for you to better manage yourself. So it goes hand in hand. Now, when we talk about self-care, this would involve the following. First, healthy lifestyle, such as physical activity and healthy eating to maintain a good health and to prevent prevention of illnesses. It also involves responsible use of medicines prescribed by doctor and non-prescribed. No? Whether it's over the counter or those that are prescription medications, we must be able to utilize them wisely. No? Only take in medications when necessary and when prescribed by doctors. Let's not abuse them even if they are prescription medications. It also involves self-recognition of symptoms. It involves assessing and addressing the symptoms. Being aware of your body, knowing your reactions, your triggers, your uh, or the things that you're feeling inside of your body. Know when you're stressed, know when you are already sick, and knowing when to stop so that you could rest. No, that's part of self-care. It's about having a healthy lifestyle. Self-care would also involve self-monitoring. Okay. When we talk about self-monitoring, this would involve checking signs and symptoms for deterioration or improvement. You check up on yourself. If, for example, you have a wound, check on it. Is it healing or is it getting worse? If it's getting worse over time, you might want to have it checked already. No? If your health condition, for example, you were sick, no, self-monitoring involves checking up on yourself if the symptoms are reducing, no, or are they still there after some time. Okay, because these might be indicators of another health condition that you might want to check on. Self-management, it includes being able to manage the symptoms of disease either alone or in partnership with healthcare professionals or other people with the same health condition. Okay, part of self-management is consulting with health professionals. Sometimes we are afraid to go to doctors to have checkups because we say that they might find something, no? But that's their purpose, that's their job, to find something, no, whether it is an illness or a disease, so that it could be solved or remedied immediately. Okay, they wouldn't find something in you that isn't already there. For example, if you have like your parents, for example, sometimes they would say that they don't want to have a checkup because doctors might say they have diabetes or hypertension. Doctors will say that because more or less your parents would already have those conditions. No? They're just afraid to admit it. Okay, same goes with you. If, for example, you are experiencing some problems with your health, consult your medical professional so that you could assess it properly, so that they could assess it properly and address it later on. Now, how can we take care of our physical self? No, we've talked about self-management, self-care, no, monitoring yourself, right? Monitoring your body, whether if your illness, if you, for example, you're sick, is it getting better or is it getting worse? How long have you been experiencing all of this? No? Now, when it comes to physical self-care, we must be able to take care of ourselves physically. In our previous discussion with the physical self, we talk about computers. Now, we use an analogy wherein we look at the physical self as the hardwares of a computer, whether it's the monitor, the CPU unit itself, the keyboard. No? Now, in order for the computer to function properly, no, you must do maintenance for it from time to time, meaning you should clean it, no, you should take care of it. Same goes for our body. If we want to be able to function properly, if you want to be able to do our daily tasks, if you want to connect with other people, no, to enjoy ourselves and to enjoy our life, we must be able to take care of ourselves physically. No, we must be able to maintain the hardware properly, and that's taking care of our body. Now, in order to do so, first you must have proper sleep. No? Develop a regular sleep routine. This is what we call sleep hygiene. Uh, Identify within yourself what's the appropriate time for sleep. Also, what's the proper duration for sleep. Some would have 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep depending on their age. No, for as long as you have a regular routine. Why? Because if you don't have a regular routine or a regular sleeping pattern, it messes up your circadian rhythm or your body clock, which makes it more difficult for you to get up in the morning. No? Sometimes you would feel not properly rested, even if you have the proper or adequate proper or adequate time for sleeping, because you still feel tired because you didn't follow your regular routine or your body clock is still adjusting. No? That's why it's important that you have a regular routine when it comes to sleeping. Aim for a healthy diet. Okay. We are what we eat. Okay. If you eat bad foods, if you eat junk foods, no, then that would reflect in your body. Your body wouldn't be able to digest them properly. No, your body wouldn't be able to get sustenance. Okay, so be mindful of the things that we eat. It's important to have a balanced diet and be cautious or mindful of the things that we ingest or that we intake, because obviously the things that we would ingest or the things that we would eat could influence our health, especially when it comes to junk food, carbonated drinks, no, too much sweet or too much salty foods, no? Those are bad for your kidneys, and basically those are bad for your body. Okay, it's okay to enjoy yourself and treat yourself from time to time with these delicacies, with these uh, treats, no? But it's important that you are mindful of what you eat and that you have a healthy and balanced diet. Take lunch breaks, or basically eat meals regularly. Do not just simply skip meals without any knowledge of its consequences. Okay, some would say that they would skip breakfast, some would skip lunch because they need because they want to, or sometimes because uh, they're too busy. No, it's important that you eat your meals regularly, especially if you are in a diet. No, you must follow your diet. Okay, don't just simply skip breakfast because you want to lose weight, or don't just simply skip meals because you want to lose weight. You want to look good. No, there's a proper way of doing dieting. You don't just simply skip meals, no, in order to lose weight. Okay, because sometimes if you do so, your metabolism would slow down. Okay, which in the long run would affect you. It would be more difficult for your body to digest the food that you would take in, making it more difficult for you to lose weight. So skipping meals in order to lose weight doesn't work if you don't know if you don't know the mechanics, or if you don't know how to properly apply it. So for the meantime, no, make sure that you eat properly and that you eat regularly. Go for walks or just simply staying active, no, especially if in your area it is already on low alerts, no. So maybe try to go outside, even at your backyard or just in your street. Try to go for a walk. No, it's a way to refreshen your mind as well as your body, no? Especially if you live near a park or a forest or anything with trees in it. No, it's a way to be in touch with nature also, breathe in fresh air, and going for walks is a way to exercise also without being too strenuous. Take your dog for a walk after work. No, in relation to the previous one, engage with your pets. No? Or if you don't have pets, maybe you have uh, your cousins or toddlers with you. No, play with them, go out with them for a while. No? It's one way to stay active for you, no? Because being active allows you to take care of your physical health. Use your sick leaves, no? For those who are working, okay, or if you plan to work in the future, make sure that you use your sick leaves, okay? Because there are those who would try to power through, especially when they're sick. They'll still try to go to work because either they want the money, or they need the money, or they feel like they would be overwhelmed, no, if they take a leave. So that's why they would still try to work or power through it, instead of using their sick leaves. But ironically and counterproductively, no, if they don't take the leave and they feel sick, the more that they would not be able to do the things that they need to, because they aren't able to to concentrate, they aren't able to be productive because they feel weak, they feel sick, they aren't able to work properly. Okay, so if you're sick, make sure that you rest, no. If you are not feeling well, no, take care of yourself, rest, no. Especially if this illness, or if you being sick would not help you do or achieve the things that you need to do for that day. Get some exercise before or after, no, uh your work, no. You need to work out regularly. Okay, it doesn't really have to be extraneous, meaning you have to go to the gym, no, you have to be sweaty and everything. No, it doesn't really have to be that. It doesn't have to be very rigorous. Just staying active, playing with your kids if you have some, or your pamangkins or your pets, no. Running or jogging or even stationary exercises would be sufficient for as long as you do it regularly. No? It's important that we don't live a sedentary lifestyle, which means after you eat, you go to bed, sleep, you just watch TV. No, you don't do any work or any exercise to keep yourself active. No, we must be able to avoid that. Next is have the right attitude. Okay. Taking care of your physical self is not just a physical component per se. It's not just about exercising, eating healthy, but it's also about having a proper mindset or attitude when it comes to taking care of your body. Especially when you exercise, sometimes we would feel tired already. Sometimes we would see, or rather, we won't see any results immediately, and then we would give up. We would be discouraged, no? So what we do is we stop already. No? We wouldn't continue exercising because we say or we think that there are no results. Or sometimes we get tempted with junk foods. No? The cheat day becomes a cheat week, becomes a cheat year already. No? Because you got tempted with the food. Okay. So part of it is having the right attitude, looking at the situation properly, having the right mindset so that when you are able to condition your mind properly, exercise and having or maintaining your diet would follow. Process your emotions. Okay. When it comes to health, it isn't just your physical health, but it's also about your mental health. When you are able to process your emotion, this means that you're not repressing any of those things. Like, for example, you feel bad or you feel sad, you just keep it to yourself. Okay. Sometimes you must be able to express those emotions or to process them so that it wouldn't be repressed and later on explode or implode. No. So make sure that you're able to talk about it, or if not, at least process it on your own, evaluate the thoughts and the emotions that came with it. Also, maintain a spiritual practice. Okay. Part of taking care of your mental health is through your spiritual practice. This doesn't necessarily mean that if you're not religious, you don't practice spirituality. No? Again, as we've discussed in the spiritual self, okay, spirituality is about connectedness. No, other people, particularly religious people, are able to practice spirituality through their religion. No? But those who are non-religious could practice their spirituality to connectedness with other individuals through meditation and mindfulness exercises. That's you connecting with yourself when you do mindfulness exercises or when you meditate. Pamper yourself. Okay. Treat yourself from time to time. Okay. It's nice that you are able to reward yourself, especially after a very stressful or long day. No? Or especially if you've achieved something, you reward yourself. From time to time, pamper yourself. If you want to go to the salon, no? If you want to give yourself your favorite food, treat yourself out from time to time. It's part of taking care of yourself. Okay. It allows you to look forward for something. No? It adds spice. It adds a twist, no, to your regular routines. No. So pampering yourself is taking care of yourself both physically and mentally. Listen to music. Okay. Whatever you feel, if you're happy, no, listen to happy music. You may even dance with it. Especially if you feel the energy when you're alone, no, it's okay. No, it's your way to express yourself, to express your feelings. Okay. If you're happy, find happy music that you could dance to, no, that sometimes you could sing along to, even if your voice isn't that good or even if you don't dance well. No, even if you're sad, no, there are those people who like to listen to sad music to feel their sadness, and that's okay. That's what you call dramatic relief. No, it's like making their environment soothe them. No, making their environment, particularly the music that they listen to, uh, be congruent with what they're feeling. No? So that when they listen to these sad music, what they do is they are able to express the sadness that they are feeling also. Okay. So some people would create a playlist that they could listen and relate to these music. Okay. Stare at the sky. Look at the sky. No, appreciate nature basically. No, don't look at the sky if the sun is up. Huh? Don't look at the sun directly, obviously. But rather stare at the sky, look at nature, appreciate it, and see that there are greater things out there, especially when you look at the stars. No? You see that there are a lot of stars at night, no? And how big the world is, how big the universe is, and sometimes it just makes us wonder more, makes us feel something that there's something out there that's greater. Okay, and also we're able to appreciate the beauty of nature as we do so. Sit outdoors by a fire pit, watching the flames and listening to the night sounds, no? Whether if you are able to go camping or outside, no? Basically, what I'm just saying to you is be able to appreciate nature. Okay. So what is self-management? So self-management, this is managing yourself by determining the appropriate activity, by paying attention to others' behavior, participating in class activities, and engaging in all instructional activities. Now, basic principles in time management. Okay. First would be your planning, no? When you need to do something, make sure that you plan for it, no? Failing to plan is planning to fail. Okay. If you don't plan on it, no? If you just go through the task without any prior planning or any form of thinking to address the problem or to address the task, then you might not be able to do it efficiently. So planning is very important. Next is prioritizing. Identify whether it's urgent or whether it's important. There's a difference between the two. When we talk about urgency, there's a deadline. But when we talk about important, this is more of your personal evaluation of how that task could influence you or other people. So it doesn't necessarily have a deadline, but rather it is more of if you do it, no, what would happen? If you don't do it, what would happen? No? So prioritize, know what is important and what's urgent. No, next is have a good working system, whether it's your work environment or the people that you work with, no, whether it's your classmates or if you're working your office mates or if you work from home, no, the people around you, have a good working system with them. If you work from home or study at home, no, inform the people na okay, at this time I need to work. So kindly don't disturb me, no, delegate the tasks that you need to. Okay, so have a good, proper, or rather a good communication with the people that you're working, as well as your overall environment. Use a diary tool, no? Whether it's a to-do list or your diary tool that allows you to check up on the things that you're doing or the things that you've accomplished already. It also allows you to check on your schedule also. Now, self-care would involve all of these things, whether it's your physical condition, no, your physical health, awareness of your environment, kindness to other people, as well as to yourself. Self-care involves choices. This would be the decision to take care of yourself, attention to yourself, also, and priorities, knowing what to prioritize, the things that you need to, whether you need to prioritize your work, your studies, or yourself, particularly your health. It's about curiosity and exploration, doing things, no, finding excitement in life. And ironically, it would also involve community, no? When you take care of yourself, no, that also involves taking care of the community, whether if you feel like being charitable, no, that's your self-care because it allows you to feel good about yourself, okay? It's also about slowing down, no? Sometimes we live life too fast that we aren't able to appreciate, to find grateful or to be grateful for the little things. It also involves support, pleasure, and acceptance, especially acceptance of the self. Self care is a priority and a necessity. It is not a luxury. Self care is not about being selfish, but rather it's about self love. Okay, that concludes today's discussion. I hope that you were able to learn something. Thank you and have a great day.